Blog Talk Radio.
Live, MMA Affiliates Radio, the debut. UFC 129 preview show. Waiting on DiBiase to get in here. You know what time it is. Anyway. Alright, we live on the air, MMA Affiliates Radio. This is King JB, waiting on DiBiase to get up in here with y'all. Waiting on Dukes. The phone lines are open. Feel free to give us a call in here at the area code 323-927-3009. Just waiting for everybody to call in and get in here with us. As you guys know, UFC 129 is right around the corner, as well as the official debut of MMA Affiliates Radio. We both know that that's coming up here. I do got a caller. I believe this could be DiBiase. 781, you're live.
What's up, brother? DiBiase.
Hey, what's up, DiBiase? What's good with you, bro?
Not much, man. Getting nervous. I didn't know if you were fucking going to be here on time.
Man, I don't ever miss no important business, man. You know, I had to step out for a minute, go and take my family to Kings Island tomorrow, big day. Had to handle some shit with my tire. But what's good with you, man? Is Dukes getting in here with us on this one, or is he waiting until Sunday?
No, he's supposed to be calling in probably like 5 or 10 minutes. What is that shit anyway? Like a fucking roller coaster place? Six Flags?
Kings Island. Yeah, Kings Island. That's pretty much what it is. I don't know what you out east. You on the East Coast, right? Like
Yeah.
you got Disney World and shit out there, Disneyland, whatever it is. But yeah, Kings Island is basically it's just an amusement park, man. It's real cool. It's cool shit to do though. Obviously, man, we got UFC. What was you saying?
I said, there you go. Take the fam up.
Yeah. Obviously, we got our actual debut episode coming Sunday, and as I was telling everybody, it's going to be a little bit later in the evening. But what we basically doing then is that's when we'll talk to our guests. I think we ought to do this preview show each time we have an event, though, on Fridays, though. I think we should knock this out each day to do our preview. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I hear you on that. Go over our picks and shit for the pay-per-view, definitely.
Hell yeah.
So you want to get into the prelims?
Yeah, let's definitely do this. We got UFC 129, Toronto, Florida. Man, first of all, I do want to say, man, this is supposed to be the biggest event ever for the UFC, man. They talking about 55,000 people, man. You think it's going to be more than that or less than that?
No, it's supposed to be. They can't even fit that. They want people still trying to get into the event. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
More people are still trying to get into the event. That's nuts.
That's nuts, man. That's got to be madness. Because, you know, most UFC events, you know, they're right at 10,000, 13,000. That's insane, man.
Dude, I don't know if you saw Dana White's video blog for, like, day 2 or whatever, but they showed, like, Mandalay Bay can fit on the first floor of this fucking arena. That's nuts.
I did see that. The floor shots. And when he was giving all them tickets away outside and everybody was acting all nuts.
People mobbing them and shit. Security was blocking people. That was crazy.
That's crazy, man. It's definitely crazy. So we got UFC 129, obviously, coming up this Saturday, tomorrow night. You know, we got the prelims coming up, man. Which one do you want to tackle first, man? We got some pretty decent fights. I do want to say this before we get in there, that I actually am not impressed with the UFC 129 prelims, and I'm going to tell you why. I think they tried too hard to make it USA versus Canada. And so there's people on
the whole pay-per-view. That's what they're doing, basically. You know what I mean?
Right. And I know they did that back in UFC 58. But, you know, just when I got to looking at it, there's people that's on this card, though. I don't think I would have necessarily had on the card. But we'll get into that as we hit each fight. So which fight you want to tackle down first?
Let's get into Nate Diaz versus Roy McDonald. Nate Diaz, he's 13-6. Roy McDonald, 10-1. Roy McDonald, he's coming off a loss to Carlos Condit. That was a fucking war. I don't know if anybody saw that out there. I know some people did. But did you see that fight yourself?
Man, that was an amazing fight. I thought without a shadow of a doubt, because my brother, man, he hyped up Carlos Condit, and I was like, man, this is the UFC now. And Carlos Condit got his ass whooped the whole fight, and I remember saying, man, I told you he wasn't shit. And then at the end, pulled it off. I think it was like, what was it, like 7 seconds left? Some craziness, man. It was just nuts.
Yeah, I remember being pissed at the referee because if that fight went to a decision, Roy McDonald could have maybe got it. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh yeah, yeah. That's
I
why.
can't stand when they stopped the fight with like 5 seconds left. That bothers me so much.
Right. And in my eyes, I look at Roy McDonald almost as if he's still undefeated. Yet, granted, he took that loss, but man, it's kind of one of them situations where he's never really got his ass kicked. So, but Nate Diaz, man, he's a beast.
He's coming off a loss, too, to the stun gun. Yeah, basically, it went to a unanimous decision. He just got held down that whole fight and was basically just getting worked on the ground. It was transition after transition. He was not trying to stand with Nate Diaz at all, you know?
Right, I agree. And the thing about it is, with Nate, I think that if this fight stands, I think Nate will lose this fight. Even though
really?
Yes, I do. I think Roy McDonald has the ability. I mean, because the fight with Carlos Condit was just so brutal. I mean, it's a situation where I think Nate Diaz's best chance in this fight, honestly, is to hit the ground. I think
Carlos Condit just looked off in that fight, though. You know what I mean? Right. I think Carlos Condit would beat Roy McDonald's ass now. We haven't seen Roy McDonald for a while, so it's tough to say. But I think Nate Diaz is going to push the pace and just get in this dude's face, and he could knock him out.
So overall, you say knock him out? Woo!
Yeah, definitely. TKO him. I think Nate Diaz could definitely do it. His brother just won. Gilbert Melendez just won. Jake Shields is fighting on the card. He's not going to be the only one in the scrap pack that want to take a loss. Right. You know what I mean?
And also, you got to look at something, man. Think about it if he loses, man. Think about what his record's going to look like, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Nate, I don't believe Nate Diaz is a 13-7 fighter. So I got Nate Diaz winning by submission. I don't know if you just read my report, but I actually got him winning by submission. I do think he's going to pull it off. If he can, I didn't think Nick Diaz was going to knock out Paul Daly either. So truth of it is,
I didn't see that coming either.
Right. So Nate Diaz can pull out a knockout here. By the way, anybody that's out there listening, feel free to call in. You should have if you're listening to the show on the radio, you should have the number right there, right in front of you. Obviously, it's 323-927-3009. I think we both agree Nate Diaz is going to take this, man. What you got next for us?
Sean Pearson, Jake Ellenberger. Sean Pearson, 11-4. Jake Ellenberger, 24-5. Who do you like in this fight?
I got Jake Ellenberger, man. I think Jake Ellenberger, despite taking on 2-week notice, or however, I think it was just, because Foster just now got that brain hemorrhage, man. So I think Ellenberger's wrestling, I think his ability, he may even knock him out, but I got Ellenberger by TKO, man. What do you got? Yeah,
that's what I think's going to happen, too. And Ellenberger's coming off a victory over that dude, what's his name, Carlos Eduardo Rocha or something, I believe. Right. And that dude's a beast, and Ellenberger was all over that dude on the ground. And the fact that he didn't get caught in a submission or anything, whew.
Right. I actually argued with a lot of people after that because I actually had Ellenberger losing that fight, but it was so close, man. It was just like, but then again, I also had Jardine beating your boy. So the truth of it is that...
I mean, he got a lot of takedowns on Musashi, but whatever. That's a different story. We'll get into that some other time.
Right. Absolutely.
But, just because Pearson beat Matthew Riddle, I think he's coming off a win, a unanimous decision win off Matthew Riddle. That ain't shit. You know what I mean? So,
No. Riddle obviously had his big moment in The Ultimate Fighter, but that was about it, But we can get into that another time, too. That was nasty. But the truth of it is, that shit was nuts. But the truth of it is, man, I just think Ellenberger at 24-5, I think that's what he's 24-5, right? I think he's ready for the big boys now. I honestly don't really consider Sean Pearson one of the big boys. I think Ellenberger's ready to move up in the welterweight division.
Yeah, I think he just took this fight just to stay active, get a paycheck, and fight in front of a huge crowd, basically. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
What we got next, man?
Moving on to the pay-per-view, we got Mark Bocek versus Ben Henderson. Bocek's 9-3, and Henderson's 12-3. 12-2. Excuse me.
Right.
I actually thought this dude's name was pronounced Bocek. That's how I was pronouncing it, but I guess it's pronounced Bocek. So
when I watched your video, I laughed. Because he was like, who the fuck is Mark Bocek?
Yo, if he wants his name pronounced Bocek, he should put a motherfucking H in there. That's all I'm saying.
I agree, man. Even if it's not spelled that way, put it in there. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it, man. The thing about Bocek
is... who do you like in this fight?
Ben Henderson, man. I think, but here's the thing. A lot of people think Ben Henderson's going to finish Bocek. I actually think it's going to go to a decision because both of these fighters, their submission games are so sick with it. The truth of it is, man, Bocek is not going to get tapped out. I mean, he could, but Bocek's wrestling, I think it's going to slow the pace down. I think there's going to be a lot of groundwork in this fight. If it stands, I think Ben Henderson's athleticism can lead to a TKO. But the truth of it is, man, I think it's going to hit the ground. We're going to see 3 rounds of that shit, and I think we're going to see a decision, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to go to a decision too. But this dude Bocek, he's got 3 losses. He's got losses to Mac Danzig, Frankie Edgar, and one other person I can't remember at this time. But he got knocked out by Frankie Edgar, so I just think Ben Henderson's going to be able to knock him up. He could TKO him, who the fuck knows?
I agree.
I just don't think this dude, it's a slap in the face that Henderson has to fight this guy, because he's coming off that 5-round war against Anthony Pettis, and I just don't think this dude's, he shouldn't be fighting him.
I agree with
you.
He's
only fighting him because he's fighting, they're in Canada, basically, and this guy's a Canadian.
Right.
Because Dana White used to train with this guy. Did you hear Dana White say that he used to roll
I did not know
before?
That. I did not know that.
That's another reason this guy's getting a shot.
The thing about it is with Bocek, I don't think he should have got this shot. I actually John Makdessi, who was also in the undercard, he's 8-0. I think he's undefeated. I actually think if Ben Henderson was going to get a less-known fighter, it should have been someone with a little bit more prestige. And to me, maybe knocking off an undefeated fighter would be a little bit better. Mark Bocek, I remember playing with him on UFC 2009 on the video game, man. And I ain't never seen nobody pick Mark Bocek on that game.
I don't even think that motherfucker's in the video game.
He was in the first one. He wasn't.
He might not even be. That dude sucks.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's not top notch. You know what I mean? He did.
I don't know. I just remembered who his other loss was. It was to Jim Miller, and a lot of people said that he won that fight. I don't really remember that fight. I honestly don't.
That was like 2 fights. That was in 2010. That was last year. I forgot about that fight. He out wrestled Jim Miller. He didn't win the fight. I saw the fight, and I thought Jim Miller won the fight. But the truth of it is
Jim Miller won
Bocek
by unanimous decision, so I don't know what people are talking about. So I don't remember that fight being a robbery at all. So
no,
people were complaining that it was. So I don't know. On MMA Topics, people were saying this on Facebook, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And I do once again want to plug our show this weekend. Well, remember, y'all, I have talked to everybody, man. John Howard will be on the show, Chad Griggs, as well as Jonathan Ivey. A lot of these cats don't know who Jonathan Ivey is, but I'm going to let them know. But we're going to talk about that later. Most importantly, we want to preview UFC 129 right now, obviously. So what you got next for us, man? Where are we going?
Vladimir Medichenko, 25-5, versus Jason Brills, 18-3-1. And I like Brills in this fight. Who do you like in this fight?
I like Vladdy, but I'm gonna tell you why. I think that both of these cats are gonna give us a solid war. The thing about Brills he's lost 2 or 3, but it's like he really didn't lose those fights. He did technically, but everybody that watched the Little Nog fight knows that he beat Little Nog. Nogueira got the win based on his name. Which, I'm not one that complains too much about the decisions. You never really hear me complain too much about the judges. It is what it is. But Maddie is...
Oh, I complain like a motherfucker.
Well, I know you do. See, the thing about Vladdy, though, is he's a very quiet 25-5. What a lot of people don't... I remember watching him and Tito Ortiz, and people was picking Vladdy to actually beat Tito Ortiz back when Tito was hot in the game. You know what I mean? And the truth of it is, Vladdy is an amazing wrestler, man. He's one of the best wrestlers in the business, and a lot of people, I think it's because of his nationality, and he's not really promoted right. A lot of people don't know about him, but he's a beast, man. He's a beast. But Jason
most people just remember him being smashed by John Bones Jones.
Right. And that's what I heard the other day, man. I heard somebody say that, and it may have been you, that John Jones has smashed everybody. But I also want to talk about John Jones in a little bit, because he was at I don't know if you got to see the question and answer segment on UFC.com today, but it had all the 7 champions up there, and John Jones. I'm going to talk about his.
I didn't see the shit though.
You didn't see it?
No, I just saw photos. Man, I should have caught that shit. Fuck.
Let me tell you real quick before we move on what John Jones said. John Jones said today that this injury that he's had since college, and he's been putting it off, but now that he's champion, he decided he wanted to go ahead and get it done So he said that every year or so it bothers him, but he still fights with it. It's never been a real problem for him. So here's my thought. Okay, so now that you talked all this shit and got Rashad Evans heated, you actually got your first real enemy in MMA. Now all of a sudden you want to take it, and, you know, Rashad gets screwed. I'm not even a Rashad fan, but he gets screwed over more when it comes to these title shots than anybody. And now fighting Phil Davis, Rashad might actually lose his title shot. I don't think he will, but
so you think he did that strategically, Bones Jones?
Yeah, because let's look at 205. Let's look at that division right now, and let's.
Dude, there's no way he was kicking motherfuckers' ass with his hand busted up for like that many fights. No way.
Right, but he said
that has to be like a recent injury.
Well, he said he's been doing it his entire career. Now, I don't know if you caught there was an article on MMA on one of the MMA sites. I want to say MMA Mania and give him the credit. John Jones just got done saying when him and Rashad was friends that he would have faked an injury instead of fighting Rashad Evans. Now all of a sudden he's supposed to fight Rashad Evans and he's got an injured hand, a little injured pinky, a little, you know. And it's like, hold on, you know, there's this article saying out of your mouth, quoting you for saying that you would fake an injury before fighting Rashad. Now the shit's happening in real life, and you're claiming to have this injury your entire career? Nah, man, something's up here, man. I think.
Man, I haven't seen that article. He's been catching heat on Twitter from a lot of fans too. People claiming he's ducking Rashad and shit now too.
Well, yeah, because, you know, I mean, you know, I don't, and this is my thing about, like, even Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez, I'll give him his props. He really had this injury, and I saw the surgery pictures, and Cain Velasquez, you cannot do shit with a fucked up shoulder. Cain Velasquez, you know, I'll give him much love. You know, he had to take his surgery after his fight with Brock. I'm sure that shit, you know, but come on, man. John Jones, if he did that to Shogun and this is the same injury he says he had even before these fights, he could have took Rashad Evans down and then took the surgery. You know what I'm saying? I just think that he's fucking with Rashad Evans' head, actually. I think this is a mental game.
He could be fucking with him, but, you know, he can't run from him forever. He's going to have to fight him sometime. So, you know, right. He's got the belt, and if Rashad earns a shot, he's going to fucking have to fight him, so.
Right.
You can't delay it forever is what I'm saying, you know what I mean? So I'm getting back to the pay-per-view. Who you picking, Matyshenko or Brills? I got
Vladdy. I got Matyshenko.
I got Brills in this one.
It's going to be a great fight. Could be fight of the night.
No way. Fight of the night with
so?
Jose Aldo on the card? No fucking way.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah. And actually, I think the fight that we never, you know, there's a couple of different fights, and I know we didn't go over the lower end of the thing, but I want to say Claude Patrick versus Daniel Roberts actually could be I don't know how put up on game you are with these two guys at 13-1 and 12-1.
Yeah, Ninja Roberts, I like that dude a lot.
Yeah, that could be fight of the night. I think Diaz and McDonald, if it stands, it could be fight of the night. There's a couple different ones.
I think that fight will stay standing, definitely.
Yeah, it should be. If it stays standing, I say there's going to be blood in that fight. Maybe even from both guys.
It's going to be a war. That could be fight of the night, the Diaz-McDonald fight, definitely.
Absolutely. You know,
but,
yeah.
Let's move on to the next fight. We got Randy Couture versus Lyoto Machida. Randy Couture, he's 19-10. Machida, he's 16-2. Who are you picking in this fight?
Before I pick this, we do have a caller. I'm going to go ahead and unthaw him. The first three digits, 781. You're live on MMA Affiliates.
What's up, y'all? It's Dukes.
Hey, what's up, Dukes? Is that what this is?
Yeah, Dukes.
Hey, what's good with you, man?
You guys sound pretty good.
What was that?
Oh, thanks. How's the show going so far? You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Not too bad.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Have you got a chance to listen to the first part of the card, man, or what we went over?
Yeah, I agree pretty much with all your picks, except I'm probably going to take Brills in that fight, too.
Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah, Brills.
So who do you like in we're on the Couture-Machida fight, so let me start with Dukes. Who do you like in this fight, Couture or Machida?
Well, I'm not like on everybody's bandwagon saying Machida's going to kill Couture, because Couture, you know, he comes up with those game plans, so, and he's been wanting to fight Machida for a while, so I don't know. I'm going with Machida, but I think it's just going to go to the decision. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, he could knock him out, but I mean, Vera almost knocked him out. So, I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
What do you think, Ken?
I think Machida's gonna win the fight, though.
So you're basically going with Machida, but you think maybe Couture
I'm
can pull it
going
off.
with Machida, but I mean, Couture has those crazy game plans, so anything can happen, man. It's MMA.
Yeah, he does seem confident. Like, you know what I mean? He seems like almost having arrogance about him that he's gonna win and then retire.
Dude, I mean, he's 50 fucking. I mean, you know what I mean? He's nasty.
48, I think.
He's fighting guys in their fucking what? Late
15 years
20s
younger than him.
early
Machida's 15 years younger.
Right.
Oh,
I agree.
15 years?
Yeah, 15 years younger. That's crazy.
Right.
I think Machida's going to light up Couture. I don't see Couture getting past the second round.
I think Machida's knocking him out. I think it's going to be a TKO. I do think, it's mainly a speed thing, man. I don't think Couture can do it, man. He had trouble with Brandon Vera, and Brandon Vera is nowhere near as quick as Machida.
Yeah, Couture hasn't done shit at light heavyweight. Couture fucking got his ass kicked by Brandon Vera. Brandon Vera got robbed in that fight by the judges, and then he beat Mark Coleman, which ain't shit. You know what I mean? Mark Coleman's at the end of his career. So he hasn't done anything at light heavyweight.
I mean, you can't really say he has shit at light heavyweight. He was the light heavyweight.
No,
champion.
since returning from heavyweight. He hasn't done shit.
He's great.
Yeah,
I think Machida, his quickness right now, I just think it's too much for Coach. The man is 50 years old, man. He's got to slow down at some point. And Machida's the quickest light heavyweight in the business, other than maybe Jones. I don't know. That's a close call.
I just think I know. I agree with you guys. I think Machida can. I think he can win the fight. But I just think if Couture can hold him against the cage, like the Greco-Roman wrestling like he does,
right.
I think he can tire him out and fucking maybe get the decision. But he's obviously not going to.
Couture does look good. He's in great shape right now.
He's obviously not going to finish Lyoto Machida,
No,
I do think that if it goes to a decision, Couture actually might pick it up. If it goes that far. No doubt.
I can see a split.
No doubt. I know we got 8 minutes left on the show live. We got to move on to the featherweight championship here. We got Jose Aldo 18-1, Mark Hominick at 20-8. Who we got?
I'm going with Aldo, of course. Who will you do?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he looks unstoppable. He's looking like a mini Anderson Silva. I've said it 1,000 times. Who's going to beat this guy? I mean, he can go up to lightweight probably. Beat anybody there, too. I mean, he's nasty.
No doubt. I think it's going to be a TKO. I think, actually, this is going to be I know Dana has to hype this fight and make it sound better than what it is, but I honestly think Aldo's going to run right through him. I think it's going to be a highlight, highlight reel knockout because Hominick's one of those guys that he's either going to try to knock you out or he's going to get knocked out because, I mean, right. He is going to come forward. He's not afraid of Jose Aldo. Absolutely.
He's not going to be able to take those. He's going to take those leg kicks or those fucking flying knees and shit. I mean, Jose Aldo is a beast.
Aldo picked Saber apart, dude. Like with those leg kicks, that was devastating leg kicks. Like those.
I've never seen anybody do that shit.
MMA.
Right. That picture that what's his Uriah Faber tweeted of his leg after that fight, man. Oof. That was one of the worst pictures I've ever seen of like a bruise or anything like. That was vicious.
Think about it. It made Faber say, "Fuck this! I'm going to bantamweight." You know what I'm saying? The truth of it is
pretty much. Like I'm not going to fight this guy again. I'm not going to try.
I just want to mention an interesting fact real quick. Mark Hominick, he's only been knocked out by being slammed, so you got to look at that too.
Right.
So he's never actually been knocked out by a knee and punch or anything like that. He's only been knocked out by a slam. So
he's also never fought a fucking striker like Jose Aldo either. He's talking about
Jose Aldo. I'm just saying.
Well, before we move on
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no problem. I was gonna say before we move on to the main event, let me ask you: is he the number 3 pound for pound fighter in the world today?
All day, he's number 3.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
All day. I mean,
dude, those fucking flying double knees.
John Jones, just because John Jones hasn't defended his title yet, a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, John Jones is number 3. Well, he hasn't defended his title yet. So
I got Jones all the way down to 10. I don't even have Jones above Rashad yet in pound for pound. I know that's crazy, but I just don't. John Jones, I just think that John Jones has a little weight. If he defends his title one time and against a top flight guy like Rampage or Rashad, then I'll give it to him. I just think, coming out and having a great fight against, Shogun is one thing. I'm not really impressed with Bader because I wasn't that impressed with Bader to begin with. I just think that one more solid victory for him, I think we'll take it out. I think it'll prove that he's the man. So,
well, the thing about John Jones is he hasn't fought anybody that, that wants to figure him out. Like, he's fighting guys that are just trying to either take him down. He's either fighting wrestlers or, he just fought Shogun, who's a striker, but Shogun fucking ate a knee right in the first round and fucking was rocked right off the bat. So, he was fucked after that. So,
right.
Every other guy that's fought John Jones.
Hey, for a second, we only got like 5 minutes left. We might want to get into the main event.
All right,
okay.
Let's do it, man. Go ahead and bring us in, DVI.
We all got Aldo, right? TKO.
Yep.
Aldo knockout.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the main event, we got GSP versus Jake Shields. GSP 21-2. Jake Shields 26-4-1. Who do you like in this fight, King?
I gotta go. I'm going with Jake Shields by submission, man. And I'm gonna tell you why real quick. I think GSP is gonna, everybody says Jake Shields can't take him down. Jake Shields does have wrestling ability. I think it's very underrated. I think George St. Pierre, his only way of winning this is by getting a quick knockout or TKO or letting it go to the judges. And if this fight goes to the judges, it's GSP. If it's finished, it's going to be by Jake Shields by submission.
I agree. I think Jake Shields is going to win this fight, but I think it's going to go to decision. Most likely. I don't think he's going to TKO him.
I just took a bong rip for fucking Jake Shields' boy Nick Diaz, but I'm picking GSP all day. He's the only guy that fucking goes. He's not the only guy that goes to different places to train, but this motherfucker's going everywhere to train. He's friggin'
right.
He's training with friggin' different guys, gymnasts. He's training with gymnasts. That guy is fucking crazy, dude. He's improving every single fight, and
right.
He is the type of fighter that's not gonna. He's not all right. So Jake Shields has better ground game, all right. So he's been training with fucking Hodger Gracie to improve his ground game after he already has a Gracie black belt, but he's not gonna go to the ground with him just because he's just gonna fucking pick him apart on his feet. And what the fuck is Jake Shields going to do on his feet to GSP? He's not going to do shit on his feet.
It's hard to argue that. You know what I'm saying? I had GSP.
Dude, he's training with Freddie Roach, the best boxing trainer out there. And
dude, his last
fight shows that. Look at Koscheck's eye, dude. Koscheck thought he was going to knock GSP out. Well, he had another thing coming because he couldn't see out of his fucking eye. You know what I mean?
I will say that was one of the best jab. This jab game in the Koscheck fight was amazing.
And if you've been watching the countdown, GSP goes, he gets disappointed in himself when he doesn't finish a fight because he listens to fans, he listens to the criticism, he listens to people like, oh, what the fuck? He doesn't knock people out. He just goes to the decision all the time. Yeah, well, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna work on that, and he's gonna work on his striking. He's just gonna end up knocking people out. Like, watch his next couple fights. I guarantee he's gonna fucking probably TKO Jake Shields. I'm calling that.
I'm not telling GSP's skills at all. GSP's got more tools than like anybody. Like, his wrestling, his striking, his jiu-jitsu. He's just nasty all around.
Well, you know what, dude? You always go against GSP, so I'm not even taking your fucking. I'm not even pointing to the count, dude. Like, so seriously, I'm always sitting next to you. I'm always sitting next to you, like, ha. What's up, dude? Look at GSP.
Right.
He's a fucking beast.
I'll tell you what.
I might be right with
Matt Serra called him, but Matt Serra called him. That was it. Everybody has their day in MMA, so you know what I mean. I changed my
GSP pick at the last minute, man. So it was today on my report, man. So it's hard to pick against GSP, man. It really is. I'd pick Anderson Silva in a heartbeat over GSP, but.
That's a different story. That's him. That's him fighting a bigger guy. That's the guy Anderson Silva walking around at 215, 220. You know what I mean? And what's GSP walking around 180, 185 at best? You know what I mean? So it's like, that's a different story.
So Dukes is picking GSP. Me and King are picking Jake Shields. How much time we got left?
Yeah, you motherfuckers.
Now we got
gonna be laughing.
We got a few seconds left. Now, what I'm gonna try to do?
He's gonna sub GSP. All right, if I had fucking $1,000, I'd put $1,000, and he wouldn't sub him. Just on like I mean he could beat him, but I would put it like on him, not like subbing him. I would put $1,000 on that. Like, I mean he could.
What I did,
but I doubt that.
Let's talk about Sunday show real quick.
We just went off live, but we're still streaming at the moment. So I unthawed the last two callers that's there, but hold on before y'all talk. Y'all two callers I just unthawed, area code 705 and 816. Basically, this Sunday we got the actual debut of MMA Affiliates Radio. We got John Howard on the show, Chad Griggs on the show, Jonathan Ivey, a seasoned veteran, on the show. It's gonna be madness. And then after that, man, we got so many cats lined up. It's crazy, week in, week out. I do want to 705. You first. I did unthaw you. Are you there with us?
Hey, what's good? What's good?
Oh, okay.
Donald Levac from Canada.
Well, who's this?
What's up, bro?
What's up? Donald Levac. I'd chime in sometimes on your posts.
Oh, that's what's up.
Oh, yeah, I see you all the time on there. MTG, what's up, bro?
Yeah, what's up? Big fan, guys.
So what you got going on, man? Who you got?
I was just calling in to defend the Canadian boys there, because I know most of you hate fucking GSP and Dominic.
Hey, Duke's got GSP's back, yo.
Yeah, Duke's ever did pretty good.
So what you got, man?
So
you got GSP, obviously, right?
Shields has had a hard time in the past taking down high-level wrestlers, so he's going to have a hard time with GSP. I don't think he's going to get a single takedown.
Dude, Shields basically barely won the fight against Cameron. Does people not remember that? Like,
dude, he had to cut 20 pounds in a day.
Yeah.
Everybody.
20 pounds in a day.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if he had to cut weight. Everybody has to cut weight in the fucking every time they fight. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna see a different Jake Shields tomorrow night.
So while you're on the phone, and I know you're all right. So Mr. Canada, let me ask you: you got Hominick pulling the upset?
Yeah, I do actually. I think everyone's not giving him a shot that he deserves. You know, he's been a high-level kickboxer.
I'll give him. He does have crisp. He has really crisp boxing, and
exactly.
I just don't think. I think the leg kicks are going to separate that, though. I think he's not going to be able to get inside. And Jose Aldo's too quick, man. I think he's a lot quicker than Mark Hominick, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. Right. He's good though, Mark Hominick.
I'm hoping he wins, but I like Jose a lot. The only thing that might affect him is the long layoff. Like it's been, you know.
Oh, sorry. It's Jose. Sorry.
that actually could mess him up, that layoff. Yeah. So let me ask you though, how do you if you believe that Hominick can pull it off, solid pick, but let me ask you, how do you think he will pull it off technically? I mean, how's he gonna finish the fight, or is he gonna?
It's gotta be a decision. He's not gonna finish Jose.
Has Hominick ever?
I gave Hominick credit because I said he's never been knocked out before. He's only been knocked out by his slams. You gotta look at that too. You know, he has a hell of a chin.
I'm unaware
I've actually seen him live. Like I live 4 hours from Toronto, so. He's probably like 5-6 hours from me, and I've seen him live at a kickboxing event. Are you? Pardon me?
You're not going to the Expo, are you?
No. I tried to get tickets and my line fell through, so.
Really?
I wasn't gonna take a nosebleed seat. Like the main seats, some of them were going for $500-600 Canadian. So.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a lot of coins.
Me and DiBiase went to the one in Boston. It was a good time.
Yes. Mad fighters was sick.
Well, we do want to thank you for calling in, man, and remember.
Yeah, no problem. I'll call again for sure.
And then next time you call, we'll have fighters on the line. We want this is the this is
I'm definitely going to call in when you have what's his name there?
John Howard.
Yeah, exactly. Doomsday.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, man. But we thank you very much, and make sure you stay tuned.
Yeah, lots of love. You guys are doing awesome.
Thanks a lot, bro.
All right, thanks, bro.
All right. Thanks. Now, 816 area code. You're live on MMA Affiliates.
Hey, what's up? This is Donnie Barnett from Missouri.
Hey, what's up, Donnie? How you doing?
Hey, it's good, man. Hey, I think it's going to be a good fight between Shields and GSP, and I don't think Shields is going to try to stand up with GSP at all. I think he's going to take him straight to the mat.
I agree.
That definitely is possible. I think without a shadow of a doubt, this fight's going to the floor. I don't think it's going to stay standing.
I actually think GSP's going to come out and try to take Shields right to the ground and throw Shields off, because Shields is expecting GSP to try to keep it standing, but I think GSP is just going to rush Shields and take him right to the ground and test Shields' ground game. And then when Shields finds out he can't do nothing on the ground, it's going to be real discouraging for Shields. But I'm still hoping Shields wins.
Exactly. Well, I think if Shields stands up for GSP's going to pick him apart. I mean, terrible with that jab.
Yeah, I agree. But if you take GSP to the mat, he's just going to get right back up. Look what that Koscheck took him down. He got right back up. I mean, it's just a matter of fact that he's going to take him down probably, but I just don't see him keeping it there. Their jiu-jitsu is basically going to cancel itself out because, I mean, Jake Shields is better at jiu-jitsu, but it's not going to matter. He's not as strong as GSP where he's going to be able to keep him there. Yeah. I know he has a good talk game. He has a good, but I don't think he's gonna do it, man.
It's gonna be a great fight.
I think Shields is lucky to get a title shot as quick as he did, just coming into the UFC and only fighting one time and getting a title shot. That's crazy.
I agree, but at the same time, he did beat a top contender. You know, I mean, I agree with you, but at the same time, you know, Martin Kampmann has always been kind of a gatekeeper for that shit. You know what I'm saying? I always thought Paul Daley should have got a shot after he knocked him, you know. But now, of course, now Paul Daley's the most hated man on earth for some reason. But the truth
for some reason.
You know, well, I mean, Koscheck's a dick. I would have hit him after the bell, too. Say what?
Koscheck talks so much trash when he fights. See, I mean, Koscheck's a great fighter and a great wrestler, but the stuff he talks about is so disrespectful when he fights somebody else. And there's a way of talking to somebody when you're going to fight them. You know, like, for example, you know, the Diaz boys get a lot of flack about the way they talk.
Right.
But you know, on the magazine they had, you know, they talk about the reason why they're that way, because it's a job. They're not there to make friends and everything. You know, the other guy's trying to take money out of his mouth and food off his table. So you know.
I agree. You know,
is this Floko?
No. It does sound like him though in that area. You know, here's the thing though, man, is that I've been getting into it with people on the site, because these are not pastors, these are not reverends. I don't give a shit if they're class acts or not, to be honest. You know, I don't give a shit if Paul Daley, you know, granted, Paul Daley is a knock on the sport, I'll give him that, but people are saying they hate... That's one thing you
don't do, though, is throw a punch at some guy after the fight. That's some bullshit.
I agree, but people hate Tito Ortiz because he's a dick. Look, Tito Ortiz, he's not Reverend Ortiz, man. Who cares if he's a dick? You know what I'm saying?
I hate Daley way worse than Ortiz.
Say what? Oh, yeah.
But,
well, what Daley did was horrible.
All right, go ahead. One person talk.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm cool. You go ahead. I'm good.
The Daley situation was bad with Koscheck, and I hate Koscheck. But, you know, him hitting Koscheck after the fight was bad. But you remember Dana White saying that he would never fight in the UFC ever again, no matter who he fought or how many belts he held. He would never fight in the UFC again. Well, now that UFC has bought out Strikeforce, what are they going to do with Paul Daley? Are they going to keep him?
Dana's going to
go back?
I think Dana's going to keep his word.
And what about Frank Shamrock being an announcer? Dana White hates Frank Shamrock because of all the trash that Frank talks about Dana.
I think Dana will let each of these people, Josh Barnett, Frank Shamrock, and Paul Daley, I think he'll let their contracts expire under the Strikeforce banner, and then he'll let them go. I think that he will, because I honestly don't think Paul Daley will ever fight in the UFC again. You know, that's why he's saying business as usual. It's not really business as usual, but he can't, you know, for him to go over there and cut Paul Daley could lead to some legal issues. Same thing with Frank Shamrock. Even though he bought the company, you know, the truth of it is that, you know, go ahead.
Yeah, but Dana White's also shifty, too, because money talks. Because, I mean,
right.
He's going to talk to Nick Diaz because Nick Diaz is on a winning streak. He's going to talk to him because he wants him to fight in the fucking UFC after his shit, you know? Because all Nick Diaz wants to do is fight high-quality guys. He's talking about fucking going to fight fucking Sergio Martinez in boxing, and he's going to get his fucking ass knocked out.
He'll get destroyed.
Fucking Sergio Martinez is a fucking beast.
That won't even be a fight. I mean, I love watching Diaz as the MMA fighter. And I love it when he comes in the ring and he's got that attitude. You know, he used to come in there and give you the middle finger, and you know you're going to get into a fight. You know.
Right.
And
Martinez would drop him.
Know, but here's something that
but just because he trains with Andre Ward.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because he trains with Andre Ward doesn't mean that. I mean, he's gonna get better at boxing, but doesn't mean he can cross over and face a guy, Sergio Martinez, that only has like 2 losses and 2 draws, and guy's fucking the middleweight champion. He's a fucking beast. I can't see him doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that drives me crazy is that you seen, Joe Stevens. He was a 170 pounder. He couldn't hack it in the 170 pound because he wanted the belt and he couldn't get it, so he dropped down to 155. Kenny Florin did the same thing. And now Kenny Florin's going to drop down to featherweight again, and now they're saying that he's going to get a title shot out of the winner, you know.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I saw that on MMA Live.
I hope Diego Nunes beats his ass.
I think Kenny Florin, and the thing about it is, though, is if he fails at this weight class, I think he's gone. Even though he's a good ambassador for the UFC, does a lot of media shit, I think Kenny Florin, this is his last chance, and he knows it. So he's going to try to get this title to save his ass. But the thing about it is, I don't think he's going to make the weight cut, and if he does make the cut,
hell no.
I don't think he's going to be successful, man. You can't cut 2 weight classes and be successful.
He used to be a middleweight, dude. He used to be a fucking middleweight.
Right.
Crazy.
And I don't see it possible, man. But I'll say
I like these guys that cut weight and think that these little guys are going to be a lot easier, and that's their easy way ticket to getting a belt and to win a championship. To go down and get on these little guys that are so small, and then they get there and they're like, holy shit, what have I jumped into?
That's why I love BJ
Penn.
That's why you gotta love BJ Penn. He jumps up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just you gotta respect that. And the thing about Dana White,
BJ Penn fought Machida.
Right.
I know.
That's
He's
crazy.
a fucking beast.
That's
BJ
crazy
Penn's
shit.
Fucking real deal.
At a what's it called?
Catchweight.
Catchweight. Yeah, I'm fucking lit. Sorry.
Yeah, man.
I saw that fight. It was a good fight. Do you think they're going to get rid of Lyoto if he loses this match?
Absolutely.
Hell no.
I do think so.
No fucking way, dude.
No, I don't think so.
I think he'll be in Strike Force. I think he'll be in Strike Force fighting Kung Lee or some shit.
Dude, if they're gonna keep Jason Brills and Madison
around, I'd like to see that fight, but I don't.
I would too. I would.
You know what I'm saying?
All this flack about John Jones and Rashad, and this is what I think. BJ Penn said it best. This is a company and we're all ready to fight. He goes, this is why I stay away from everybody and this is why I train, If you're the best in the world and your teammate or your best friend has the belt, and you want to be the best in the world, why not fight him? Why does it always have to do with honor and respect and teammates? I mean, it's a business, right?
Yeah, it's a business. I'd fight my wife for $100,000. She would fight me for $100,000. Shit.
You'd do it for free, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. Lock the triangle in. But the truth of it is, man, is, people say that Dana White, okay, he's going to bring Paul Daly back because of money. Here's the thing. Let's remember, Kimbo Slice drew a lot. And the truth of it is Kimbo got cut after 1 loss. And that's the truth. Well, granted, I agree that he couldn't have handled he was done. But he beat Houston Alexander, lost to Mitrione, and then got cut. And the truth of it is like him or dislike him, Kimbo Slice drew money. That fight night,
he wanted ratings on Tough. He wanted the ratings on Tough. He talks so much shit about Kimbo Slice, and then Kimbo Slice is a bomb, elite. That's their front man. He's a shit bomb. And then he wouldn't be in the UFC unless he went on the Tough. Ultimate Fighter, yeah. Well, you went on Ultimate Fighter and got the probably the most ratings to date on Ultimate Fighter.
Right, and it was the most ratings. But
his fight on the Ultimate Fighting had to be the most embarrassing moment in his life. Getting caught in that crucifix and just panicked and didn't know what to do.
And the thing about it is he thought
the whole thing though.
He
Nelson did that to everybody.
He thought by putting Brock in the Ultimate Fighter this year as a coach that it would probably beat those ratings, and this is going to end up
I don't even want to talk about this Ultimate Fighter.
DVI is pissed about this year's Ultimate.
Terrible.
Montreal
fucking horrible.
when Montreal was in Ultimate Fighter, I thought, this guy's gonna get beat down. He's gonna act like he wants to fight, and look how good he's done now.
I'd rather watch Bad Girls Club than fucking that shit.
I feel you. But what we got to do here
better on the Bad Girls Club.
is we do got to wrap up the show. So we can get everything. This will be on archive for everybody to listen to. I definitely love this first episode. The real debuts this Sunday.